right, it looks like that's been turned into a Soundwave blessing, not a Soundwave curse. I am now 4 for 6.
4 for 6.
Are you 5 for 6 now?
I am 5 for 6.
All right. So most of us had mildly intoxicated. That seemed to be a fairly good choice. NC just haven't really been that strong of a team.
Well, I think that setup, they had a good setup. I really think that Belgorn and those Vindicators should sprout those webs, lock down some of those Sleipnirs before they get to the logistics ships. And I completely expected that to happen. I mean, those Sleipnirs did go in range. The only one they ended up getting a web on was Zuki. I think they spent way too much time focusing on the FC, and I think they just get tunnel visioned.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You guys, when that match started, all said, "Oh wow, look at the Northern Coalition team. They're gonna own up here." I would actually love to see Uki's fit because I feel like he should have melted because he was getting pounded by 2 Vindicators and a Belgorn.
It's a cool setup.
Yeah, it was cool. It was good. It was well flown by mildly intoxicated. I still think Northern Coalition should have taken that match.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I thought that they had a fairly good, they should have been able to, dictate the match much more.
Well, mildly intoxicated brought a Minotaur Rush team. A strong counter to Minotaur Rush team is those 90% webs, the long-range webs from the Belgorn, and the neutralizers from the Belgorn.
Yeah.
I mean, the neutralizers, the Belgorn has 4 turret slots, and then it has the rest of its highs just for utility.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they should have won this match, Northern Coalition.
Maybe just not enough boundary violations.
Yeah, I think so.
That's the key. Boundary violation teams are winning.
I think these Sleipnir teams are something that, if you're good enough, you can pull stuff out.
Yeah.
They're sort of they're just, like I said before, they're just like a safe team, and you can do stuff with them. Nothing's going to really super hard counter them. And if your pilots are better, you're going to win.
All right. That's another group wrapped up. Let's just get the stats on screen to see what the standings are right now on day 1. So we have 2 more matches, then we have a break, and then we have the last 4 groups. But the initial 4 groups are almost wrapped up. Group A, Hun Reloaded, are safely qualified for the next round. Group 2, Agony Empire and Godfathers, also safely qualified. Group C, Mildly Intoxicated, Test Alliance. These would have been my choices. I think Group C turned out fairly predictably. Group D, Goon Swarm, one of the favorites, not doing terribly well.
Yeah, I was actually talking to the tournament captain for our team last night, once I finally got my jabber working in Iceland. And he said that they didn't notice that they were using ham Tengus. So they saw that they warped in at max range, 50k off the beacon, so they automatically assumed they were heavy missile launchers, which generally means it's going to be a kite team. So they just charged in, tried to get tackle on those kiting Tengus, but instead they just ended up getting owned by the close range hams. Which, I mean, that's like 550 to 650 DPS on those hams. A lot of DPS, and the ASBs, it looks like they were using extra large ASBs, and they just really couldn't break that rep.
That's a very, small error.
It's
not
small.
Checking the opponents.
Well, especially last year, it's excusable because we didn't have these turrets in. You weren't able to actually tell which missiles they had, but this year, there is no excuse.
No. So what are, so you warp on the field, you see your opponent. Is there a kind of checklist you run through of information you gather before the kickoff?
You do ranges.
Yeah.
You do guns on all the ships.
And now launchers.
Yeah, and launchers as well.
Yes.
You go, who's their known FC? Where's the known FC? You go, how much can we get to their logistics quickly? Is it guarded? How well is it guarded? You do, what's the possible synergies here? What do we have to protect on our team? You do all this thinking. Right. You have, some teams have a member that's not even on the field, that's just there with 5 EFT clients open, and he just rapidly does out the possible fits for the other team as fast as possible.
How does he get the information, though?
No, he just does any possible fit.
Yep.
He goes what's likely to see here based on the guns we have? Is there something that we might not be seeing? And as the match goes, the FC will go why is this not happening? And they'll go okay, and they'll try and fix it to be oh yeah, this is what he has because of this.
Would you ever have members stream their client to other people not in the tournament for stuff like that?
Honestly, I don't think it would help much. I mean, you can read them out the ship types, but they can't really tell too much besides positioning, stuff like that. But that's your FC's job. Your FC should be telling you what you're going to be going for. Like if you're fighting, say, Vindicators, it's going to be somewhat of a DPS race. Try to get one of those Vindicators down quickly, or either that go for the logistics trade-off, like you saw the Minotaur Rush team just do with Mildly Intoxicated. So having someone out on the other side isn't that helpful because the FC should be experienced enough that he knows just the general fittings that they're going to be bringing.
All right, so we saw some fairly expensive setups, Vindicators, Balgorns, possibly the flagship. I'm not entirely sure. Might have been the flagship. Expensive ships. What's your budget going into the Alliance tournament?
What's our budget going into the Alliance tournament?
Yes.
Well, I didn't spend anything on the Alliance tournament,
Well,
but it really depends on the income of your alliance. If you have a lot of money to throw around, then you're willing to dump a lot into the Alliance tournament. But if you're a lower scale alliance, maybe you're willing to risk a higher percentage because you think you have a good chance of winning, or maybe you're running on the budget, flying only, not flying anything faction, things like that.
Yeah.
Does that make a difference?
Yeah. If you can fly the best of the best of the best and you can spend unlimited amounts of money, then you can field setups that other teams just can't field. You can field Alliance tournament ships. You can field an insanely fit faction, an officer fit flagship. You have so much more. You can load an ammo into your ship that has maybe 0.5% better damage but costs 20 or 30 times the amount. What's the ammo that's insanely expensive but smally slightly better because it doesn't drop anymore?
What is it? I don't remember.
Well, there is an ammo that is like that. But having tons of money gives you small edges, and those small edges win matches.
Yeah, our budget was very small. We almost didn't make it in tournament because the Mittani didn't really want to shell out that ISK for the the plexus for it, because we don't really make that much money. We're kind of a poor alliance. But true fact, we had an FC meeting, and he wasn't sure if we wanted to actually pay the money to get in.
Really? Even though you guys are basically printing money?
And we make about 1 trillion ISK a month.
Yeah.
It's a paltry sum.
Yeah.
No, I actually think he's planning on retiring soon, so he wants as much money in the wallet as possible.
What is he spending the money on if he's not doing it on this?
Hair gel. Digital hair gel.
Digital hair gel. All right. Wow, I'm kind of surprised by that. I remember Ravy told us PL's budget, and it was something ridiculous. Yeah. It was a gazillion ISK a day, a second.
Well, like Michael Bolton said earlier, the winner of the tournament makes a lot of money. Those 50 faction cruisers are worth a lot. And
multiple trillions.
Yeah. Well, the Itanas especially, like I said, they're going to be the ship to have for next tournament.
Yeah.
They're just so great for this tournament setting.
And a lot of the tournament prizes are essentially tournament ships that we see that are 10% better or just more efficiency out of it. We have Circle of Two used to bring their the Frekkies?
Frekkies.
Yeah, and won a match and then lost all of them. All of them they put on the field, but they had 50. So at the end of the day, losing 5 maybe doesn't matter. We haven't seen any yet. Do you think we'll see some tournament ships come out? Maybe in this round, because now you need to get the second victory in.
Yeah, I think it really depends on the setups they're bringing, because I think a lot of the cruisers are considered Tech 2 cruisers, which Tech 2 cruisers are actually worth a lot of points. So that's why you don't see them as much, because you can get battle cruisers and stuff for a little bit less points, and then they have a little bit better tank. They don't have Tech 2 resistances, but they do have the little bit higher actual EHP when it comes to shields and armor.
So of course, with Hydra out of the tournament this year, we won't be seeing those tournament ships very likely. Is it likely that we'll see the PL team pull out tournament ships this round?
Well, you never know where these Alliance tournament ships go. Alliances like to keep some of their ships, but then frequently players sell them off. So there's a guy in Test who has a faction tournament ship. So who knows who could show up with any number of faction ships.
That's true.
I really want to see an Adrestria team from PL.
That'd be cool.
It would be awesome.
All right, well, let's see the two teams coming up against each other. It's Fearless versus Capital Punishment. Let's get a graph on the screen, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. So, Fearless versus Capital Punishment. I do believe we have a flagship on the field, which is pretty cool. What is the name of it?
Looking Glass Monocle.
Looking Glass Monocle versus
HMS Hairdryer 3. That has a 3, which makes it better.
That it certainly does. So, Capital Punishment lost to Suddenly Spaceships, beat Virtue Collapse. All right, let's just get our predictions and go to the match.
Yep, I think Fearless is going to take it. They did beat us yesterday, being Goons Forum, so they have been better since their Vindicator issue, so I'm going to vote for them.
I think Fearless are going to take it on the back of their posting prowess.
All right.
Yep, I really enjoyed the Fearless match yesterday, so my money's on them today.
I think I might end up going for Capital Punishment.